Bienvenido a Casa Yuri. I'm down here in Mexico at our place, and I wanted to shoot this little video for you to give you a little bit of intel about what's going on behind the scenes, let you know about some cool stuff that we're doing coming into the new year, and just keep it cash. Just have a fun conversation about, some stuff that's been going on, and hopefully it helps you out in some way, shape, or form. And if it does, let me know in the comments, and I'll do more of this kind of stuff for you. So I'm down here actually for a month. I came down about a week, I don't even know what it was, middle of November. And we started off with our 3-day mastery event. So mastery is our highest level coaching program where we're helping practitioners and coaches scale to multiple 7 figures. And so we had them down here for 3 days. It was awesome. Hung out at the house, swam, played some pickleball, some tennis, went out on a catamaran, had some amazing dinners together. It was really, really fun. And, one of the big things that came out of that event was the reminder of how important community is. And I think this is one of the big lessons that I want to share with you here is that AI technology is growing rapidly. We know that. And we all use AI in some way, shape, or form. But I think there's a really big opportunity as AI and technology increases to continually bring people back in person. There was a famous economist back in the 1980s, and I can't remember his name. He said, in periods of high tech, humans are going to want to have high touch. And so when I put on these events, and part of the reason that I love having this house is that, at 20,000 square feet, you can host a lot of people. And it's really fun to bring all of our clients here instead of like some kind of stuffy conference area or conference, hotel type of vibe. And it's just, being able to connect with people in a much more organic way as opposed to having PowerPoints on the slides, on a big screen, next presenter on stage. I've done that. I don't want to do that stuff anymore. And I really enjoy bringing people together, breaking bread, or in this case, tortillas, and hanging out in beautiful locations like this. Side note, this morning, I saw this massive whale right out here, breaching twice. Like there's this huge slap in the water. And I was like, what was that? I look back and it came out again. Oh my God. So this is kind of like, this is what I get to enjoy on a daily basis. And if, you're ever working with us and you want to come down, here it is. So that was a really fun couple days. And it was just really awesome. Like part of why I wanted to build this house was to inspire you, our clients, to believe that anything is possible. Like my journey started off as an underpaid, overworked personal trainer. I was making like nothing. I lived on poverty line income for a number of years. I started off in a tiny, 800 square foot apartment with my girlfriend. My desk at the time was an IKEA kitchen table. My dog Jax at the time, his pee pad was right beside me. And that's kind of how it all started as I was building my business online. So, 20 plus years later to be able to create this, for me, it's very symbolic and meaningful for me personally, but also part of my intention was to create a space that would inspire others. And why I love bringing people here is because it expands your belief system. This is a very expansive view. I mean, I don't think you can catch it all in this camera in this one shot, but we get sunrise, sunset, 270-degree panoramic view. And when you're here, you just expand your belief system. It's like you start to think bigger. And this is a big mission of mine, is to help whoever's open to it to think and dream bigger and understand like anything is possible as long as you kind of put in the work and you never give up. So anyways, having that 3-day adventure, we do it actually once a year here at our house, was awesome. After that, we had a 2.5-day leadership team meeting. So our leadership team was here and that was awesome. So there's a lot of different ways of running like fancy leadership retreats and meetings. And I'm not like that. We're very informal. I call it like upscale relaxed. And the most important thing for me coming into that leadership meeting was that we were all aligned around how we wanted to move things forward with our business. So the big question that we wanted to answer this year is, if I'm being honest, like 2025 was not our best year in business. We actually went down a little bit from 2024, but it's still, we still did okay, but not where I wanted to be. And I look at why that happens, and there's a number of factors. A lot of it's people related decisions, etc. Which, by the way, as you scale, it's always gonna be people stuff, starting with yourself. And we also noticed some really big changes in the market over the past 2 years. I never want to use macro as an excuse for the micro. I mean, I'm never going to be one to use what's happening around politically, economically as an excuse for why the business is doing great or not so great. But you also can't bury your head in the sands and expect things to keep growing in a way that you expect if things change. So one of the things that I've noticed in the past 2 years specifically is the vast amounts of coaching offers that have come into the marketplace and how that has jaded and polluted, I think, a lot of people's minds. So what we've noticed is that although we've been doing this for 20 years, the landscape has changed in a way that I don't think is favorable. And I'm not using that as a scapegoat to say that it's hard, because it is no matter what. But one of the things that I was really reflecting on was our mission is to help 1 billion people transform their lives. We're going to do that by helping practitioners build better businesses that can reach, teach, and influence more people. And when I look back over the past several years of Healthpreneur, we've worked with thousands of clients, which has been amazing, but also we're not still working with all thousands of those clients. And I asked myself, well, what are they doing instead? And so it kind of falls into one of 3 camps. People come to work with us, they want to grow their business online, and it's a new venture for them. So it's kind of like a business opportunity. They dip their toe in the water, they give it a go, and it works, and we keep working together, or it doesn't quite work out the way they wanted to, and they completely go back to what they were doing before. So that's kind of one category. Second category is someone who already is online and they want to scale, and obviously that's very easy for us to help them with. Third is practitioner who has clinic, who wants to get out of clinic, or at least have a hybrid, and again, coming online, new worlds. It's a business opportunity. Many of our best clients are that avatar. But there's also many who, when the going gets tough, they go back to what they're safe and comfortable with, which is their brick and mortar. So I started to look at this and ask myself, if we want to impact 1 billion lives, I don't know if we're going to get there by helping practitioners only grow their business online, considering that many of them don't continue building their business online after working with us. So how is this actually getting us closer to the ultimate objective? And so we started to have this conversation as a leadership team. We looked at our best clients and we made the realization that in order for us to get where we want to go in terms of our mission, why do we only have to help practitioners build their online business? What if we could help them scale their practice? Because that's what a lot of our clients do anyways when they come to work with us. But they feel that they have to build their online business in working with us. And so I think we've kind of pigeonholed ourselves into a very narrow lane where I don't think it ultimately serves our bigger vision and our bigger mission. And I know that years ago I used to say, like building a brick and mortar is like building a prison. But the reality is it doesn't have to be that way. There are ways to scale a physical practice in ways that produce a lot more leverage and freedom if you know how to do it right. The main conversation that we had as a leadership team was to look at, okay, well, what does Healthpreneur look like moving into 2026 and beyond? And what does the evolution have to look like to move us closer to our mission? So I'm sharing this with you because you will have moments in your journey, ideally on a yearly basis, if not more frequently, where you have to reflect on what should you be doing. The should question is a strategy question, right? Strategy is clarity. We're going to do this. We're not going to do this. It's a prioritization question. But you have to be very careful about this too, because it can be very tempting to say, I'm just going to jump into another niche. I'm going to jump into another opportunity. And that is a very dangerous thing to do. So it's this balance of recognizing what's the opportunity in front of you. Is this the right vehicle to get you where you want to go? And or is there something else that is going to get you to where you want to go more effectively? The challenge with strategy is that unless you are very, very experienced, most people make wrong strategic decisions. They say to themselves, I'm getting a lot of no's on sales calls. People don't have money in this market. This is tricky. This is hard. And so what they say is like, that's what they believe. So therefore, like, you know what? I'm going to change target markets altogether because it's going to be easier over there. But that's not the case. Like, there's shit everywhere. So I want to be very clear about this. I'm not talking about jumping niches and changing altogether. I'm saying for us, based on our mission, based on our vision, being able to serve brick and mortar practices, I believe, is a very, very important move for us. And it fundamentally comes down to, it's not about making our lives easier. It's not about that. It's about recognizing that our main coaching program, HBA, and our early stage program, OAA, for many clients are business opportunity offers. They're not about, obviously we have many clients in those programs that are looking to scale their current existing online business, but a lot of people coming online are starting brand new. And when you look at any industry, any market where you have a business opportunity offer, it doesn't matter how amazing you make the program, there is going to be a very large percentage of people going into those things who churn because it's such a steep learning curve. So we ask ourselves, is the juice worth the squeeze to continue trying to force that issue where we're swimming against the current? Or what if we could just help practices build better practices, more scalability, more time freedom for the practice owner, more capacity, and that's essentially the direction we're moving into 2026 with. I feel really good about it because the total addressable market, TAM, is also much, much bigger in that particular conversation. So if I go for a walk back home, I walk by easily 10 physical therapy, naturopath, and chiropractic clinics on my walk. If I were to walk into those clinics and ask them hey, do you want to move your business online? They're either going to say no, or I don't even know how to do that, or maybe. But if I go into those clinics and ask them, do you want to get more time back while making more money and helping more people? Every one of them will say yes, right? So for us, it's a smart strategic move to move in this direction, and we'll still be serving businesses that want to grow online. But a big focus of ours moving forward is going to be helping practices in person scale, and specifically practices doing about $500,000 in revenue so we can scale capacity delivery on the back end. We're not even going to play with the lead gen. We're not even going to play with the marketing. In fact, I'm going to give away all the marketing stuff on this channel for free. So if you're a practice owner and you want more patience, stay tuned because I'm going to give all of it away for free. And the goal is that you use it and you get so busy, then you're like, you know what? Maybe I should get these guys to help me scale so I can get my time back. We don't want to touch the marketing side of things because there's a lot of agencies that do that. We have a very unique way of increasing capacity and leveraging time. And that's essentially how we're going to come into these practices to look at systems, people, leverage, delivery, so they can make a much faster and bigger impact and help them scale a lot more intelligently. So that was pretty much the conversation for 2.5 days. And I share this because I want to let you know, and that's the direction we're going to be taking moving forward. So it's going to be helping brick and mortar practices scale. It's going to be helping those that are already online scale even bigger with our current HBA program. And OAA, our early stage program, will still, do its thing. I feel really good about that. At its core, it's really about, can we swim with the currents? Is this going to move us closer to where we want to go in terms of our mission and vision? Do we have the resources, people, and time and expertise to help with this, the brick and mortar side? And the answer is hell yes. Some of our most successful clients, it's so funny because they actually discount how much their brick and mortar practice grows when they're working with us in HBA. They're like, well, I made $50,000 in my practice this month, but it wasn't from my pipeline. It's like, dude, who cares? You took some of the stuff you learned in HBA, you applied it in your practice, and it exploded. So we just see this as a big opportunity. And, I'm sure it'll serve you if you're looking to build your practice as well. So that's just a quick update about stuff we've been working on, stuff that's coming into 2026. I'm going to continue shooting awesome stuff for the channel here. And again, I appreciate you being here, subscribing. If you're not already subscribed, hit that button below, because if you want to build your practice, if you want to build your online business, we got both. We got you covered in either way. And again, fundamentally, our job is to help. The reason we exist is to help you, the practitioner, the coach, the health expert, build a better business that impacts more lives and allows you to live a much better quality of life in the process. And we believe that by doing this now with the brick and mortar and online, it's going to allow us to make a bigger impact and really fill a need in the market that is not currently being met from at least what I'm seeing. So that's an update. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. And thanks for hanging out today. And I'll see you in the next video. And if you like this kind of stuff, be sure to watch the next video where I'll walk you through our $1 million health coaching roadmap. If you're a health expert, coach, or therapist who wants to grow $1 million+ business, without the grinder guesswork, you're going to want to check that out. We have a free scorecard where you can audit your business, and then I'll show you exactly how to fill the gaps to improve your score and thus the impact you're creating, the money you're making, and the freedom you're living with.